Hi you guys, so today's video I'm going to be explaining to you how I restrung everything. I filmed a 2-hour video and it turns out I did it all wrong, and I'm going to explain to you what I did that was so wrong. I bought my restringing bands from this website right here called Dolly Delights on Etsy. Let's see. Ooh, come on, focus. She sells a different size restringing bands. She actually says what doll it's for. It's like I bought some from for Toni. So this is where I bought my restringing bands. This is her Etsy shop. So she sells restringing bands for your Tonis if you're looking for things. So what it came with was a large rubber band and a small rubber band. Okay, with some directions for different patterns that you could do. They have the different patterns. And they say what doll it's for. Like it says, for instance, this one is probably a walking doll, and this is for Ginny Bands. What is it? Ginny Bands, Alexandra. So Ginny Bands and Ginny Alexandra. So it's different. It says the dolls in the corner and how to do the actually restringing, which I didn't understand. It was a little bit hard for me to figure out everything. So they have a part 1 and a part 2. So basically like that. So and as far as Toni, there's part 1, there's part 2. It says Toni, Madam Alexandra, ideal, just in general. It says 14 to 20 dolls, 8-inch dolls. So these are for 8-inch and 14 to 20-inch dolls. So there's a part 1 and there's a part 2. It's very, very hard to figure out directions. I thought this was like directions for 4 different kind of dolls. It's a step 1 and a step 2 basically. So it was a bit of a struggle. I had to use a lot of tooling, screwdrivers. I used as a hemostat. I think that's what it's called when you got to hold stuff in place. They have a thing called a hemostat where you stick the hemostat in between to hold the bands so you can hook things on. So what I did wrong was I attached everything like it said in the picture. Okay. You see the description, I did this right here, and her little arms were like twisting and winding and things like that. So they do have 2 different options for stringing Tonis. So this is of option 1 and this is option 2. What I did was option 1 was not working for me. So I'm taking it as a step 1 and a step 2. That's the way I look at it. But they say, it says note P90 and P91 bodies can also be strung head to legs, and then separate bands for the arms. So I tried it this way first, okay? And then I was like, whoa, I did it wrong. This must be a step 2. So I said, no, let me leave it. Let me just do it like it says right here. This is option 1 and option 2. But I'm looking at it as a step 1 and step 2, basically. So what they have inside of Toni's is just like this. It's hooks that are attached to the limbs and things like that, and they have a hook in the head. Okay, so I hooked these rubber bands here, 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 and here, and here. And then her body became warped a little bit. So that didn't work for me. So, and then I looked over here, it says bodies can be strung from here to here, here to here. I said, okay, let me try that. So I had to disconnect the arms right here and just had the rubber band going this way. And then I have a separate rubber band for this way and this way, basically. So I decided to restring her like this right here, which is up and down, and it had a separate rubber band side to side. So the big rubber band went this way and the small rubber band goes this way, okay? And you're gonna notice though, if you have an antique doll and they have these little hooks, this is what grabs at the big rubber bands. And those rubber bands are very like industrial strength, you know, the thick rubber bands that you see in machinery. That's the type of rubber bands these are from this website. So I hooked the big rubber band going this way, all the way around. It took me at least 2 hours to figure out where things went. I filmed a 2-hour video and I completely did it wrong. So that's why I didn't upload it. So I'm just doing a better explanation for you guys. That way you can do it the right way and don't do it the wrong way like I did. So I took the big rubber band that they provided and I went all the way around. So I hooked the 2 legs up. And then I had to stick a pair of needle nose pliers. Let's see, let's get them for you. I'm gonna show you the tooling that I had to use because it's really, really a good thing to get. So you'll need, when you get this kind of stuff, you guys, you're gonna need some tooling, which I didn't really have, you guys. But try to get these like needle nose pliers from a hobby shop, from a craft store. These are like jewelry pliers, so they actually had to reach. Okay, so I strung the two, the big one this way to this way, right? I had to grab the rubber band and pull it up towards her neck. So I had to reach in there. You can see it grab. It's pretty long, right? I had to grab in there, clamp it, and pull it with. And it was a very, very strong rubber band, you guys. It was so strong. So I took it and I pulled it all the way really tight, and I strung her head together. Okay. Wait, did I do that? Yeah, I did all of it. And then I took that same rubber band and I strung. After it was done right here, then I just hooked it onto the arms, which took me about an hour to do also. So, and after all of that, it was wrong. Her little head kept doing this and her arms wouldn't go up and down, right? As you can see, they're doing it right now. But before, when I did it all in one, things were like going cockeyed and things were not going right at all. So if your doll keeps doing this and this, that means the rubber bands are way too tight. So just keep that in mind. So I used this tooling, and I used, what else did I use? I used a screwdriver to stick right here across her arm to hold the rubber band in place while I hook things on, because they have them little hooks like I was telling you before. So when you get it up here, you slide the screwdriver in there and you just kind of hook it on the inside, because she has a hook like they say in the picture right here. And you kind of hook the screwdriver in there and then you hook it on there. But do this with caution, you guys. So, and then I did all of that wrong, right? So I had to unattach this. So I pulled this back out, put the screwdriver in, and then unhooked everything, which I'm glad none of the rubber bands broke. And then I had to take that little bitty tiny rubber band that was industrial strength, take it from that side, and then take this clamp, pull it all the way to this side. And at the same time, had to slide a screwdriver in it. It was very, very difficult to do, you guys. You need at least 2 people to do this. This is what I would recommend. You need another person's help. It takes forever, and it is very much a struggle. So, like it says in the description, you guys, I had to take, they have a hook on one side. I had to take this needle nose pliers that was almost the same size as a doll, take that and pull it this way. And then while I was pulling it, I had to hold the doll and slide the screwdriver in there all at the same time. So you definitely need a lot of help. It was a lot of work to do this, but these rubber bands are pretty awesome. So they have a small rubber band going across right here. There's her little hooks, as you can see. It's holding everything in place nicely. So a small rubber band going across and a big rubber band holding the legs and the head on. So she's all nice and tight, you guys. I can't believe, like, she is awesome now. Nothing's wrong with her. She's nice and tight. She's not all loopy like you see. She's got a very, very tight body. Now, these rubber bands are amazing from this website called Dolly Delights. And they help you, they actually say the names of the dolls too, which makes it a lot easier. If you're looking to restring a doll, they do say the sizes also that they sell. So I got 14 to 20 dolls or an 8-inch doll these bands were meant for. So as you can see, they have different patterns for walking dolls. They say the big rubber band goes on the top and the small rubber band goes on the bottom. And this is for, like, Toni this is not right here. And it says a note right here. It says it right here. P90, P91. Bodies can also be strung in the head, the legs, and separate bands for the arms. So just follow their note right there. Don't do this, because this is for another doll, okay? In my opinion, this is for another doll, because they also say, like, at Madame Alexandra and things like that. So I think this is like a pattern more so for Madame Alexandra dolls. And this is the pattern for Toni dolls. So go all the way around with the big rubber band, and then take that needle nose plier, and you want to pull it really, really hard to the other side, and just stick that screwdriver in that little separate part right there. Hold it so it don't go nowhere, you know? These are very, very strong rubber bands, you guys, and they're pretty amazing. I'm just very, very happy with the results. I'm glad that she did provide directions and a pattern and things like that. The only thing they don't provide you with is tooling to actually do this, because I didn't know anything. You can also do this with Chinese food, the chopsticks from the Chinese food that you get. You can also do it with that. You don't have to use a screwdriver if you're worried about indentation with your dolls and things like that. So just follow this pattern for Toni. Big rubber band, legs to head. And the head was a little bit difficult also because I had to hold. I was doing all kind of crazy stuff with this thing. It took me 2 hours to do it and I did it wrong. It's crazy. But I had to hold the screwdriver right there. And at the same time I had a screwdriver, it had a little tiny hook attached to the banding. And inside of her head, they have like a U shape right here. And I was sitting there going back and forth, trying to fish that line and hook it on there. So it's a very, very thin wire that's inside of there that holds her head on. So I was sitting there going up and down, and it took me a very, very long time to do this. But I'm finally got it right. I'm glad that everything came out okay, but it is definitely a process, you guys. It is something that's gonna take you hours to do. Like if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna take you hours. So I'm just trying to save you guys time and direction. Follow the directions, even though they're not very clear. Follow the directions, you guys. So for Toni, a big rubber band right here and a small rubber band going this way. Just follow the patterns, read the directions, because the notes that they said on here, like it says specifically P90 and P91 Toni's to follow this direction right here. So I'm not really good with paper directions. I'm more so do it, and if it's wrong, I'll change it kind of situation. So I wasn't gonna change it, but her arms were all wobbly and stuff like that. So definitely big rubber band, small rubber band. Follow the directions that they provide for you from this Etsy shop. So it's called Dolly Delights on Etsy, and they do restringing for Madame Alexandra, Toni's. So 8-inch to 20-inch dolls, they do cording and elastic cords for, which is basically a really strong, thick rubber band, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very, very strong rubber band for Toni, so that way you don't have that issue. Now, it's not the cord, that elastic cord. It's actual really, really thick rubber band, which I was very, very surprised that it didn't give you more than 2. So they gave you a thick, big one and a thick, tiny one for the arms. So they don't give you much direction, you guys. So let's see. Okay, so it says, so besides the screwdriver, it says you can also use crochet hooks to go from one side to the other. So if you guys have crochet hooks, to hook one side and then pull it through, and then you can use the crochet hook to go like this and hold the rubber band on her arm. That's also a good idea. I used a pair of needle nose pliers that I got from Hobby Lobby. It is jewelry pliers. It is very, very thin base jewelry pliers. It's very, very thin, and it worked for me just fine because it was big enough to where I can actually get in there. She wasn't that big, so these are really, really nice to have if you plan on restringing a Toni doll. It took me forever. I was literally sweating my butt off trying to do this. I was struggling. I don't have good hands to do things like that, so it was a struggle, but with the screwdriver and with these needle nose pliers, it was a success. Very surprised that the rubber bands did not break. They did not do anything. They were perfectly fine. So Toni is all nice and restrung. So I tried my best to explain things, you guys. I did a whole video and it was completely wrong. I don't want to upload a video that's completely wrong, but I hope I explained it to the best of my abilities. And again, you can get your restringing bands from Dolly Delights on Etsy like me. So if you're looking to restring a Toni, I would highly recommend this lady. She's pretty awesome. She's nice. And they give you some basic instructions. So I don't know, so dollydelights.com, but she does have an Etsy shop. So just search Etsy, Dolly Delights too. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. If you got any questions, any comments, leave them down below. And just remember to like and subscribe, and you'll see more doll videos. Bye, you guys.